God often uses actions through Christians, deeds of kindness, the miraculous and blameless lives, to incline the heart of people favorably towards the gospel. Though ultimately people put their trust in Christ based on the words they hear, often the trigger to opening them is actually the miraculous or the deed. In our world, it is full of people with all sorts of faith backgrounds and religious and spiritual experiences. And the vast majority of the world will expect spiritual things to happen. What they will say to us is, okay, so you think you know God, show me His work. So here's how this maps out. We're called to witness, preach, and pray for the miraculous to open the door at the same time. There is imbalance in certain churches. Many charismatic churches focus only on the miraculous side, and they start saying, well, it's basically the avenue, but they forget signs only point and affirm to what's coming. The message has to be spoken and submitted to. Others, types of churches many of us grew up in, including myself, reject all forms of the miraculous or are deeply skeptical. They say it's dangerous, it's not necessary. All you need to do is preach the Bible more, give the gospel more. You need nothing else. But this stops the pattern we see in Jesus, the book of Acts, in Paul's life, in Peter's writing. Should I go on? So in other words, the miraculous should not be stopped because of fear or theology or unbelief or past pain or misuse or possible abuse. It does not, by the way, replace preaching. It's the handmaiden that prepares people from multiple backgrounds, Western and non-Western, for the good news. I love what Ajith Fernando, who is a key leader within Sri Lanka, who wrote these words. When non-Christians, listen please, so important. Some of you are this. When non-Christians are confronted with the message of Jesus, most will have at first a moral or cultural block to even considering it seriously. It is a costly message because it involves renouncing one's past life and embracing Christ as Lord. So, unless there's some compelling evidence that will move the hearts of people will probably not regard it as worthy of consideration. God often uses actions through Christians, deeds of kindness, the miraculous and blameless lives, to incline the heart of people favorably towards the gospel. Once the heart is open, it's possible for the will to orient itself to accept the gospel. People will be able to regard its teaching for what it's worth without the earlier prejudice or fear. They will realize it's something worth committing their life to. Acts 13 rightly emphasizes deed and word are important elements in evangelism. Though ultimately people put their trust in Christ based on the words they hear, often the trigger to opening them is actually the miraculous or the deed.